When I was writing tracks for the last CD, Reunion, this amplifier inspired me to write more and more tunes. I would sit around just mess with the different tones that I could get out of this thing, and one of the tunes that got inspired by the Lone Star was a tune that I wrote for my wife called Corone Song. We'll hear more about that tune in a little bit. But the thing I love about the Lone Star, like I mentioned earlier, is how versatile it is. You just get this nice, huge, fat tone out of the clean channel, and then the overdrive is just this nice, huge, singing, vocal-like overdrive, and it's the same thing as the clean channel. It's just nice, huge, and fat, beautiful sound that goes on, and it's one box, couple amps in one box. You know, the way that I usually set it up is everything is almost at 12 o'clock, from the gain all the way to the master volume. You can almost set this amp where you're rolling the bass back a little bit because there's a lot of low end to it. But the great thing about all the low end, it's not muddy, and the high end still sparkles. Everything's still balanced, and it's very articulate. You can hear everything that you're playing. Let me turn the delay off a little bit so you can kind of hear what's going on. Can you hear the nice reverb? This reverb that they have in this thing, the spring reverb, is awesome. Really, really nice reverb going on there. It kind of carries out, but it doesn't get in the way. The great thing about this amplifier is that each channel has its own power settings. So like my clean channel can be 100, 50, or 10 watts. And then when I click over to the overdrive channel, it also has the option of going 100, 50, or 10 watts. I run the clean channel at 100 watts pretty much all the time, and even the overdrive channel I'll run it at 100 watts. I just gravitate towards that more. There's something about the headroom and the power I like behind that kind of gives me. It takes pedals very, very well, and that's when I have these two guys that come in for different textures. So like on the clean channel, if I'm messing around with some stuff, I might want to kick in the love pedal for just a little bit of that kind of grunginess. So kicking over to the overdrive channel, which was another just fascinating tone. When I first plugged into it and heard it, it's like, wow, you know, I've just got to go back and re-record all my tracks. Lovely. I'm digging it. The way I have the Lone Star running right now, I have it running through a Lone Star 410 cabinet. So I have 4 10-inch speakers in this cabinet here, and it's also running a 212 cabinet. I found that to be one of my favorite ways to run the Lone Stars, with open back cabinets with a combination of a 410 and a 212. I just really like the sound of that. 410 kind of gives me that punchiness, almost kind of like the old Fender Super Reverbs, and then the 212 just gives me this nice fullness that kind of surrounds it. So it's a great combination of the two cabinets that I like a whole lot. Starting on the clean channel, over here, channel 1 of the Lone Star, you can kind of see everything is almost about 12 o'clock. The gain is just a little past 12, trebles at 12, mid just slightly back, bass is back a little bit, because like I said, this amplifier has a lot of low end, a lot of bass to it, which is really nice. And presence at 12 and master at 12 and at 100 watts. And when I go down here to channel 2, the drive is about 1 o'clock, the gain is a little past 1 o'clock, almost 2, treble's a little past 12, mid's about 12, bass is back about 10ish, presence at 12, and master probably about 9, 10, somewhere about there. However you need to get it to balance out. And it's also at 100 watts as well. And then I run this at thicker, because you have 3 different voicings. You have thick, normal, and thicker. And I always just set this one at thicker, because I like the thicker tone, right? Over here you can also set it over to tweed or full power, and I always just set it over to full power settings. I just kind of like that a lot better. And you can set the reverb to your taste, you know, warm or bright, and how much you want in there for your taste. My taste varies from day to day about reverb. Sometimes I'll have a little bit more, sometimes I'll have a little bit less. Just all depends on the day. I adjust it quite a lot. So that's it for the Lone Star, how I set it.